Hadley's journey has been memorable and unique. He's thrown a lot at us since the beginning, a lot of hard things, but I'm so grateful for the way that everything turned out, even though it was not in my plan at all. You know, one wrong move and we could have lost him.
Did your lack of backing off show just how
Katy was in Reno and she called me, let me know that we finally got pregnant, so.
We're really excited to get a family started. So Hadley Haysburg went to a lot of rodeos with me, and it was actually at Pendleton when people started to realize that I might be pregnant, but he was everywhere. And then of course NFR, he was very largely a part of that. He, I think, liked it when the crowds would cheer because all of a sudden he would really start to kick. So I made it through the NFR pregnant, and the game plan was to make it through the somewhere around 20 perfs of the Fort Worth Stock Show and Rodeo, and then I would have 4 weeks left in my pregnancy. I made it through 2 performances. Started to get a fever, just really not feeling good. I've never missed a rodeo performance in my entire career, so it was really hard on me to have to tell them, hey, I cannot make it in today, but I was on the couch with a fever and could not shake it. Several days into being sick, my water broke. I was 36 weeks pregnant, so way earlier than we expected.
He was due March 1st. It was January 29th.
Hadley was also breech, so we were headed for a C-section. By the time we got to the hospital in Dallas, it was just after midnight. Things were happening really, really fast. When Hadley came out, he wasn't breathing.
I didn't hear him cry or anything, but I could hear them shuffling around and they were whispering to each other, and it didn't sound very good to me, so I was pretty scared.
The NICU team was there just to grab him instantly. They got a tube in. He started breathing after a couple minutes on his own. In the first few moments of life, a lot happened to him, and he finally cried. So Hadley was born at 1:30 a.m. on January 30th, and he was 5 pounds, 6 ounces. They took Hadley off to the NICU and worked to get me kind of stabilized a little bit. The next morning, Jens finally got to go and see Hadley and check on him. To add another wrinkle, because I had the flu when I came into the hospital, they wouldn't let me see Hadley right away. They quarantined me, and it was about 3 days before I was allowed to go meet my little baby. All the cliches are true. You love that baby more than you would ever imagine, and you can't tell someone until they experience it for themselves. We thought it was going to be just put in our time and wait for him to grow a little bit, but something was wrong. Every time they would try to wean him off of oxygen, he would really go downhill fast. They took a really close look at his heart and they found a defect, a total anomalous pulmonary venous return, which essentially means the veins that are supposed to bring the blood from one side of his heart to the other were there, but they were not connected, so the blood couldn't go anywhere. He needed a TAPVR surgery.
He was 6 days old. You think about something that small going to have surgery, all the things that go through your head is, how are they going to do this? You know, they're going to do surgery on something that's the size of a walnut. But did a lot of praying, and yeah, it was pretty scary.
About 6 or 7 hours later, he was out of surgery and we got to see him, and that was the hardest part for me. They're on some pretty heavy-duty medication, but Hadley always had really clear, really observant eyes. And coming out of surgery, he was so glassy-eyed, and I just remember being so scared. I stayed pretty tough and didn't really cry through the whole process, but I just remember looking down at his poor little glassy eyes and just hoping that he was still the same baby. Another complication he had is this one lung wouldn't inflate because he has a little problem with his sternum. They were doing all kinds of physio for that and trying to get it to inflate to help him. And The night that it did inflate, we knew instantly because he just started yelling all night long. And, you know, it was like he was saying, I'm good now. My lungs are good. My heart's good.
It's amazing how resilient children are. He's tough.
A couple weeks in, we were talking with the doctors every day. And I just remember when they started talking about steps to go home. And it dawned on me, finally, like, oh, I get to take my baby home at the end of this process. 30 days in the hospital, but Hadley got to wake up at home on his due date of March 1st. Hadley today is just like any other little boy. All of his checks have gone so well. He's a small fella, but we're not very big either. He's just a regular baby, and that's everything we could ever want. He hit the rodeo trail with us. He went to Nashville for their first rodeo. He went to the PBR World Finals. I think he's been on 24 flights, hit about 12 or 13 states, been to Canada twice, been to some of the biggest rodeos in the world.
I'm not going to force him to rodeo, but we do some gentle herding, and hopefully he does some stuff.
I'm really grateful for everybody that came together to help Hadley be the little boy that he is today. He's so happy. He didn't have to be this happy after everything he's been through. On one hand, it feels like all of this happened yesterday, but on the other hand, it feels like it didn't even happen to us because he's perfect.